Hey everyone, CJ with Diode Dynamics. Today we've got this awesome 2019 Tacoma in the garage with our product development specialist Garrick finishing up an install on our Stage Series Rock Light kit. Our single color rock lights have a high and low power switch drawing up to 10 watts with a 1000 lumen output. Before we begin, if you haven't already seen our video on how to utilize all of the mounting options we have available for our Stage Series rock lights, you can check out the video linked in the description below. Whether you're installing our RGBW or single color kit, the mounting process will be the same. We'll go ahead and show you how we did it. Starting with the front bumper location, we have two non-invasive options, first being the magnet mount. With your magnet mount assembly, we'll stick it onto the front skid plate. For the second option, we utilize the factory mounting hole by removing the lens and grommet. We'll bolt it on to the factory hole located on the centermost lower bumper tab with the supplied hardware. You can secure this in place all the way using a 5/32 Allen and an 8mm wrench. It's important to note, vehicles equipped with the factory air dam may not be able to use the solution. Then you can reinstall your grommet and lens. Next, we will show you the front wheel well with the two non-invasive options along with one requiring drilling. Option 1, using the magnet mount, we can place the light onto the frame of the truck, making sure it's clear of any moving parts. Option 2, we will first remove one plastic clip holding on the fender liner near the top of the wheel well. Then, using the supplied hardware, we can bolt it into place of the plastic clip we just removed, tightening the hardware down all the way using a 5/32 Allen and an 8mm wrench, followed by pressing on your grommet and lens. For the third option, using a 1/4" drill bit, we can make a single hole centered at the top of the fender liner, just under the side identifier R or L. Then there will be two plastic clips we need to remove using a flathead screwdriver and a plastic trim removal tool. After removing the front clip, you'll need to slide the fastener away from the bumper. With a 10mm socket, remove the one bolt at the bottom corner of the bumper. Then, from the inside of the bumper, you'll need to squeeze the orange clip while pulling out the fender liner from between the bumper and brace. Now that we have access to reach our arm up, we can bolt the rock light to the fender liner with the provided hardware using a 5/32 Allen and 8mm wrench, followed by pressing on your grommet and lens. Moving to the middle of the vehicle, we'll show two non-invasive mounts and one requiring a drill. Starting with the magnet mount, there are several areas you can choose to place it depending on the output spread you're looking for. Our next option is simply using the built-in mounting slots on the sides of the rock light to secure it to the frame using zip ties. For the third option, we can drill a hole into the frame with a 1/4" drill bit and then bolt the light on using the supplied hardware, followed by pressing on the grommet and lens. If you're drilling into metal, make sure to coat the raw metal with paint or your preferred rust preventative. For the rear wheel wells, we will have one non-invasive solution and another requiring drilling. Starting with the magnet mount, we will place the light centered on the frame, staying clear of any moving parts. Our other option is using a 1/4" drill bit to make a hole centered at the top of the fender liner between the two plastic clips. Then, with a trim removal tool, remove the 2 plastic clips at the top of the fender liner so we can pull it down and bolt our rock light to the liner using the supplied hardware, a 5/32 Allen, an 8mm wrench, followed by pressing on your grommet and lens. Lastly, we will mount the rear rock light with a magnet mount to the hitch or underbody depending on if you still have your factory spare. Moving on to wiring, we'll start with connecting an M8 splitter at the rear hitch rock light. Next, we'll connect the left-hand center rock light to a splitter and rear hitch mount splitter. To help routing the wire, we'll tape one end of the extension to some steel fish tape and feed it down the side of the frame along the brake lines. Just make sure to stay clear of any hot or moving parts. An untangled wire coat hanger can also help do the trick. You can then secure the excess wiring up and out of the way using zip ties. With a 1-meter extension, we'll then connect our rear left-hand rock light to the remaining splitter connection on the rear hitch rock light. We can connect our light to the extension and route it behind and over the fender liner, reinserting your plastic clips removed earlier and making sure to loop the wire around one of the rear clips to help keep it behind the liner. Using zip ties, make sure to keep the wiring out of the way of any hot or moving parts. Now we can connect a 5-meter extension to our left-hand middle splitter and route it up and into the engine bay. With a trim removal tool, we'll first remove the 2 plastic clips holding on the inner liner. Then with our fish tape, route it down alongside the factory lines to the wheel well. We can tape the male end of our connector to the fish tape and pull it back up into the engine bay near the fuse box. Coming back to the wheel arch, feed the rest of the wiring alongside factory harnesses and the frame to the middle rock light connector, zip tying the excess wiring clear of any hot or moving parts. Shifting over to the rear hand rock light, we can connect it to a 3-meter extension, routing it to a splitter in the center right hand rock light. Just like the driver's side, route it behind and over the fender liner, reinserting your plastic clips removed earlier and making sure to loop the wire around one of the rear clips to help keep it behind the liner. Then you can tuck it the rest of the way, and we will then route it through a hole on the side of the frame above the leaf spring down to the right hand center rock light, connecting both to a splitter and zip tying any excess wiring out of the way. From there, we will connect a 5-meter extension to the splitter and route it up and across the engine bay to the fuse box with our other loose leads. Starting in the engine bay, drop down the female extension lead to the wheel well and along the frame following factory lines, zip tying it clear of any hot or moving parts. After that, you can come back to the engine bay and route the remaining lead along the firewall towards the fuse box. Next, we'll connect our front right-hand rock light to a splitter and the front center light using a 3-meter extension. Taking a trim removal tool, we can pull a bit of the fender liner to feed the wiring down behind the bumper and over the crash bar, connecting our lead to a splitter and center-mounted rock light. Using another 3-meter extension, we can connect our center-mounted rock light and route it up into the engine bay towards the fuse box. We can route the wire across and over the crash bar, coming up alongside the headlight. Lastly, we can connect our front left-hand rock light to a 1-meter extension and feed it behind the fender liner with our trim tool and up into the engine bay with the rest of our M8 leads near the fuse box. Then with your switch harness, you'll want to route the switch portion through the firewall and into the cab at the location of your choice, followed by plugging in each of your M8 leads into your harness. With a 10mm socket, we can loosen and connect our red wire to the positive terminal of our battery and our black wire to the body ground right next to it. Finally, zip tie any remaining loose wiring clear of any hot or moving parts and reassemble everything by reversing the steps we used to take it apart. Our Stage Series rock lights are a perfect solution for adding light underneath the vehicle on the trail as well as standing out from the crowd. And if you went with our single color option like we installed on this Tacoma, you're not actually limited to just that one color. The outer lens can easily be swapped to one of the 5 color options we have available. To get more detailed information on our RGBW or single color rock lights, you can check out the video linked in the description below. And if you want to pick up a set of rock lights for your vehicle, check out diodedynamics.com or use their dealer locator tool to find a dealer near you. And if you want to stay up to date on any new or future products, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Thanks for watching.